What up guys, I'm Mache. Welcome to my first ever YouTube video. And today I'm going to be showing you how I edit my favorite skateboarding photo that I've ever taken. So let's go. So a little bit of background for this shoot. This was the Dunbat Classic held at the Dunbat skate park in Toronto. It's just this little, honestly a little dinky like wooden ramped skate park, but it's pretty popular downtown. The vibe's pretty crazy out there. A lot of crazy skaters are around there. Blue Tile Lounge is just down the street. It's full of crazy talent. Toronto's pretty booming in terms of skateboarding, but anyway, I can't skate that well, so I turned to photography instead. Anyway, this contest happened, when was this, 2019, but still to this day, this is one of my favorite skateboard photos. We had, there was a bunch of stuff. There was a game of skate, best trick, longest ollie, and they were sessioning a variety of obstacles there. We also had this crazy game they were playing. Watch this. They were playing this crazy game. Well, not crazy, but they're doing like they're running up the pole, seeing who could slap the sticker the highest. And there's this there was this drunk guy. He was selling taquitos in like a bicycle vendor. And, a couple beers deep, he thought, great idea. Maybe I'll just take off my belt, wrap it around the pole, and hop onto this pole here and climb and see and win the contest. Maybe it would win him something. And the only thing he got from the contest was a broken belt. And caution, if you don't want to see someone get injured, don't look, turn away now. He ended up falling down. I got the photo of him collapsed right when he hit the floor, and his feet are just completely mashed. The guy in the background's like, what the fuck is going on? This guy's just like, he's like, bro, no way. The guy on the mic is speechless. This guy's like, yo, I am gonna go viral. This shit was crazy. Let me throw in the clip here. I have someone else was filming it. I couldn't film it, I was on the camera, but everyone was just freaking out. But super funny. I remember that moment. Anyway, he was fine after. He walked away, which is pretty crazy, but I think it was just the alcohol. But anyway, moving on. Here, the longest ollie was going down, and I decided, to shoot the longest ollie with slow shutter speed, because these guys were flying and I was super close, so I thought maybe I could do a cool motion blur effect when I was shooting it. So, let's check out what I got. Like this guy, this one is a little bit blurry. This one, landscape, not the best. Again, there was nothing sharp about these ones. They're cool. This one was decent, actually. Like the board is sort of in focus. You at least need one point that's actually sharp in terms of like a blurry photo. Hold on. Oh man, hold on. You know what? Oh yeah. Okay, basically I'm reshooting this video because I ran out of storage on my memory card, so I already picked it, but this is the photo that I decided to use. I picked it because this part was sharp, the rest is blurry, the composition's great, there's a lot of cool colors, and we could let's get started. So first thing I do here is pick the white balance, or choose the white balance, and I use the white balance tool for that. Usually, sometimes it fucks it up, so like that was a bit too blue for me. Let's see, I try to hit different points. See, this is too warm. So I'm going to stick with this one here. Maybe move it a little bit warm, but not too much. The next one, exposure. I tend to overexpose my photos a little bit. And then contrast. I'm not pushing it to, even over like 40 is a bit much, I think. Like between 30. I sort of go by eye, but turn up the contrast on this one. Highlights, blow them out just a little bit. Shadows, bring them up, and then I go whites down and blacks down. And this tends to work for a lot of photos, but for this one especially, it seems to work pretty fine. And again, this is all subjective. I bet you some other photographers would edit this completely different, but this is just my workflow here. So I skip these ones. I don't use them. Vibrance I put up. Saturation I bring down a little bit. And then I go to the tone curve tool here, and then I make a S shape. Honestly, I don't know what this is called, but this is what I tend to do, and it works most of the time as well. It's sort of like a formula I got down. I make it an S shape. This sort of like blows out the highlights. You know, it darkens them. I don't know the exact terms here. And then this one, it's like it adds that sort of fade effect. So this one I'm going to try to print, so I don't really want it to be too faded. So around there, honestly, I'm going to bring that. This adds a little bit of contrast. I don't want it to be too contrasty because I turned up the contrast up there. Maybe a little bit less here too. Okay. Okay, that looks good. Here, so now let's see. Hue and saturation, I tend not to screw around with these at all. But if, let's say, something's popping up and it's super in your face like that, orange, yellowish shirt is in my face, you see it, and then it's like, if I bring that down, then the whole image tends to, since there's a lot of yellow tones in this image, maybe that's not the best. Yellow, orange, you know what? Even the yellow a little bit down, not too bad actually. Blue, maybe a little bit, but not. I think that looks pretty good. There's purples, you know, and the best thing is you could just experiment, right? The red you could turn down a little bit. Cool. All right. Next we go here, color grading. Again, I just sort of mess around with these, like, do I want the midtones to be blue? This one's the one that usually changes the photo the most if it's exposed well. If it's dark, then obviously the shadows is what you're going to be playing with, and overexposed or a lot of highlights, then highlights, right? So this one, I'm honestly going to bring it down a little bit to the cooler end, but not too much. Cooler meaning blues, greens, right? I don't really like to mess with greens unless you're out, I guess, in nature, right? But this one would be more of a blue tone, because look, if we go to yellow, we don't want it to be too warm. Honestly, the yellow doesn't look too bad, but then I don't like the pavement. So I think I'm going to stick with just a little bit of blue. Shadows again. Shadows, the blue shadows look pretty sweet. I don't know if you've seen that. Adds a nice cool effect to it. The background is darker. So now you could add like the yellow now, but the blue, I think that adds a sweet look to it. Wow, okay, sweet. Highlights, let's see, let's mess around with this. Highlights, I think I'm just gonna leave because it looks like it's ruining the photo here. So again, messing around with those, just pushing it to the extremes, seeing how that looks. If that looks like, okay, well, that's the effect I'm going for, let's just bring it down. Just make it very minuscule, and then playing around with that would be the best. Luminance, I don't do this unless it's like you know, if my ISO is bumped up to over 6400 or something, I turn up the luminance a little bit to get rid of the noise from the ISO. And honestly, I should have probably done this at the beginning, because now I'm probably gonna have to go back and underexpose or bring the exposure down just a little bit. Okay, so we did that there, because the remove chromatic aberration is only if you're printing. Really, you can't really see it on the computer, or unless it's like really exposed. And then the profile corrections gets rid of the vignetting, especially on the lens that I was shooting with, the 24-70 Canon. It was there was some vignetting, some distortion that was going on, so I would just I usually take that off anyway there. Vignette, you know, we could throw one on for effect. Like, that looks amazing. I'm honestly just going to take it off. I think it looks fine like that. Grain, you can add grain if you're, you know, throwing it on Instagram or a website. It looks cool, but again, if I'm trying to print this, I don't want to add grain. I want to keep the quality as best as I can, because if I'm blowing it up, you know, you obviously want it to be crisp and clear. So I think I'm pretty happy with that. I think it looks pretty sweet. It sort of looks like a painting, to be honest. This is the photography I really like. Honestly, maybe change up the green actually, because of the tree. Looks pretty sweet. Does it? Not really. The green, I could maybe push it. You know, I could be here all day, you know what I mean? But the aqua, the blues, this doesn't change much. The yellow, push it to the green. Yeah, a little bit. That actually works pretty. I think that's fine. You know, I could be here all day, you know, finicking with the colors in there. But the main idea is to take out any colors that are super in your face. I'm not a big fan of yellow hints in my photos. Like, I feel like it just doesn't look too clean. See, the less yellow, I think, the nicer it looks, the cleaner it looks. You know, and then again, if you just imagine, like, you want it to be, well, in my opinion, the less yellow the better. Unless you're going for a warm look, then, you know, photography is super subjective. But again, this is just my my way of going about things and my sort of thought process. So here we're gonna go, and I think this is the way to, no, this is the way to check. So, you know, clean it up a little bit. It's obviously more exposed, more contrast. Took a, you know, the white balance has changed, and this is way more, well, not way more, but more visually appealing than this one. And sometimes photos don't need a lot of editing, you know, just a little bit of cleaning up. So I'm, again, pretty happy with this photo. I'll compare this photo to the old edit. I bet you it's not even that different, but this one I am happier with than the original photo. So we'll keep that. Let's put it full screen. There you go. So thank you guys for, you know, listening to me chat shit and, you know, going through my process of editing this photo. If you liked what you saw, leave a comment, maybe leave a like, subscribe if you want to see more tutorials. I got a bunch of ideas. I'm really excited, you know, to get this thing started in terms of YouTube, and I'm sort of trying to push my photography a little bit more. This is like another outlet for me, and I'm a creative dude with a lot of ideas, and this is a perfect way to show people that, and, you know, push myself as well. So again, you'll definitely see more. And if you're interested, I'm going to be selling prints of this photo and probably other photos as well. So if you want to see that, follow my Instagram, or just shoot me a DM on there and let me know if you want a print of this. We could work out a deal or whatever, and, you know, that way you can support me, and that way you can get a sweet photo for your place as well. So anyway, guys, thank you, and I'll catch you at the next one.